And so the coolest thing for me about Equina Biosa is it addresses one of the hugest problems that domesticated horses face. Now, I talk a lot about how important our residential microbiota is. Well, when you think about the changes that we've made from the wild horse to the domesticated horse, we've pretty much removed them from being able to access beneficial bacteria on our ordinary, everyday state. And so we keep them in paddocks that are dirt, and so beneficial bacteria, the good kind, don't exist in the dirt. All the pathogenic guys kind of do in the ground up dirt, but the good guys don't. And so they're in barns, and then we have commercialized feeds, and the list goes on, and they're all there under, we're giving the best care we can to our horses, but we just kind of forgot about how they evolved in the first place and what their requirements actually are. And so, as a consequence, when you start introducing Equina Biosa to your horse, you start eliminating a huge number of behavioral issues, a huge number of the issues where they have skin troubles, focus problems, foot problems, and probably the most important for me is the metabolic conditions. There's a lot of horses today face that. They have, you can call it laminitis founder. You can give it whatever name you really want, but it's all a metabolic disorder. And I've had to deal with that with Gemini. And I started off just like everyone else. Okay, so it's food restriction for you. Yep, all righty. So we have to manage it this way. And I created a horse that was so mean and ugly that he should have been shipped to the meat market because he could not manage food withdrawal. He could not manage not having food. And so that really sparked me to try to figure out how I was going to address that. And that's when I started learning, because I always think about, well, in the wild, a horse could not have a metabolic disorder because they'd be dead. So genetically, why does he have it? I couldn't answer it that way. So then I looked at, well, physically, what's changed in the environment? So I came up with microbes, because when they live wild, everywhere they go, every time they eat off the ground, there's beneficial bacteria present. All the water they're going to drink out of is living water. So as soon as we move them to captivity, we remove those. So I was thinking, oh, okay. And so then I start going, oh, okay, we need to find some bacteria for the horses. And at first, I was doing the Vita Biosa. But then Equina Biosa came along. And so I start feeding Equina Biosa to my horses. And then I'm like anybody else, okay, well that got kind of expensive, so I better learn how to extend Vita Biosa so that I can give myself a product that I can use and give to my horses. And so that's what I do currently. I extend either Terra Biosa or Vita Biosa, so I have product for my horses. Very similar to Equina Biosa, but it's a more affordable methodology for me. And so when I start giving Gemini the probiotics, it took a lot of playing and a lot of trial and error, but here we are 7 years later, and he's out on grass 24/7. He gets to hang out with all of the other horses, and so he requires 300 mils a day. He's not a slow slouch when it comes to consuming his probiotics. He needs a lot. The other horses get by on 150 mils per day, but he needs 300. And I need to ride him. He needs to have 20 hours of exercise a week to ensure that I can keep his metabolic condition in check and under control, and he can have the life that he was meant to have. And so I just look at Equina Biosa as a way for you to give your horse everything that he actually requires so that he can have the life that he's supposed to have. So thank you so much for watching. If you're thirsty for more knowledge, check out my blog at bracanafarm.ca, where I delve deeper into the wonderful world of beneficial bacteria. And if you want to build a better partnership with your horse, or you know someone who wants a strong, cohesive relationship with their horse, register for my live online Partner Up workshop. And don't forget to follow me on social media to stay up to date.